Welcome to tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast, the Christmas episode, or the holiday episode, or whatever you want to call it. And
just call us the, we're going to be included with the special edition, unlike the coward George Lucas with his Christmas special.
Yeah. No.
He's done everything he can to bury his.
You
got to own up to it.
I will watch that every year at Christmas time.
You will suffer through it.
Dude, it's the best.
Honestly, though, the animated segment
the animated segment. And Brandon back with us again tonight.
Yeah.
That's we're getting 5 weeks in a row. How the hell are we doing this?
It's because you're like, oh, we're just gonna be real quick.
We're gonna shoot it on a Sunday evening instead of Saturday late night. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. I literally watch the Star Wars Holiday Special every year at Christmas time. What's funny is because it actually came out like a month ago. It would have been like. It came out in like November, not December, and I'm like, I don't care. I still watch it in December.
It's the Christmas.
It's special. The holiday special. It's Star Wars holiday special. See, what it threw me is that on Disney Plus, there's Star Wars holiday special. It's the Lego Star Wars holiday special. I'm sitting there flipping through it. I was like, oh, they put the holiday special. Aww.
Now you gotta keep watching your bootleg.
I watch my bootleg. Yeah.
While George Lucas sold the rights, he's not going to let anybody officially re-release the holiday special.
No, because no one wants anything to do with it. But I watch it every year. And the thing is, though, is it's still not the worst Star Wars movie.
That honor belongs to Episode 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, Episode 1 is fun bad, at least. Episode 2 is boring.
Episode 2 has a great ending.
Yeah. But most of the movie is boring. Episode 3, it's got some stuff you gotta slog through. But I will be completely honest. It is the best prequel.
I love Episode 3. I think Episode 3 is the best of the prequel series.
It's got a lot of bad movie you still got to sift through.
Yeah.
But honestly, the ending is like, you can tell George Lucas had that ending in his head.
He's had that in there since 1974, 75. So.
I doubt he had it all the way back then, but when he started the prequels, that's how he envisioned them ending with.
Well, here we go. There's references to Obi-Wan and Anakin's fight in this, because that's the George Lucas, The Adventures of Luke Skywalker. This is
by George Lucas.
God, this thing it's not as old as you'd think. This is one of the later printings. I've probably got an original printing floating around here somewhere. This is a...
When is it originally published?
77?
Podcast taken down by Disney.
Yes, podcast. No, you cannot talk about Star Wars. I was like, you better let me talk about Star Wars. Because I'm going to praise the shit out of something that happened this week. Mandalorian. Great googly movie. You didn't watch it yet, have you?
But I haven't watched it, but I get spoiled. It's fine.
Yeah, because your brother Joe will spoil the shit out of that for you.
Nah, it's fine.
No, but
I'm just like, I'm usually playing video games, so it's like,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm no spoilers. We're not going to spoiler alert this because I'm not doing any spoilers.
Watch it yourself.
Yeah, watch it, and I literally. We were sitting there watching this, me and Joe, because we watched it Friday morning. Because I was trying to watch it Thursday night, but it wouldn't run because I guess it crashed Disney Plus at like 2 a.m.
Jesus.
So I'm sitting there, and me and Joe are watching it, and I know this is bad because I don't want to be pander, and I don't want to do reaction videos and stuff like that because it's whatever. I think most of those are fake anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, all this stuff starts happening, and I'm like, oh shit! And me and Joe were just like, oh my god, and it was like,
you don't normally react like that,
dude. 9-year-old Paul was crying. I had tears coming down my face, and I'm like, oh my god, and it was like, it's a bit of what I've been waiting for since 1983. I was 9 Your great grandma and grandpa took me to the last showing, opening night for Return of the Jedi, to make sure I went and seen it the first day. I remember that vividly because they took me to the Salem Mall Theater and we went and seen it, and it was like the like 10 o'clock showing, and I was just like, but no, it literally 10-year-old or 9-year-old Paul
just came out and
was
like
sitting on that couch, and I'm just like, I wish I had my Star Wars, I wish I had my toys with me and stuff like that, but they're all boxed away because I'm an adult now, except for not all of them are up there. But no, I'm not gonna lie, it's super emotional, and the big plot twist, there is a post-credit scene you need to stay through everything and see the post-credit, which sets up don't
spoil
some other
anything.
stuff going on. There's other stuff going on. But
everyone we've talked to is like, this made them, their tears welled up.
I'm sitting here because I wish Mark would have talked to me before that, because he ain't watched it yet.
Oh,
So he's watching it today. He might be watching it tonight. What was great was I talked to Ed Martin because he was at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally get a message from Ed Martin. Ed Martin, shout out to Ed Martin. And it's let's see here. Great.
Gonna humiliate this man.
No, I'm not going to humiliate Mr. Ed Martin here. No, we're sitting there, and I get a message from Ed, and now everybody's contacting me. My kid wants more Star Wars toys. Okay, I can do what I can do, but there it is.
Are you gonna pay for them? That's how you get Star Wars toys.
And it's funny because I'm not gonna show it, but I'm gonna show Brandon. This is what I get. And because we were talking about it, I was like, I'm not gonna give you any spoilers. And then I just get the text. They're like, "Yep," like it pulled my eyes out. I did. I had to watch it twice because I was like, I can't get emotional the second time because I gotta watch it like through like just straight, just non judgmental eyes.
Yeah.
And I still was like, your mom's sitting on the couch just like, what? And I'm like,
Still real to me, damn it.
It's a little, and she goes, I was like, 9-year-old Paul is happy. And she goes, how does that different from 46-year-old Paul? Because you're a kid. I'm like, I go to work, man. I go to jobs and take care of my kids and family. But no. And I know it's already been spoiled. Everybody's been spoiling it all over the internet.
But we don't.
We won't. We will not. I will not post anything.
Watch it.
I give everybody a month. Then after, you got 4 weeks, people. That's 4 episodes. On that 5th episode, we're talking about it. So
maybe you can get Joe to talk about it.
I might get. We might see if we can make Joe, or we might. Hey, I might go see if I can get Ed Martin and
get your other friends.
Get some of the other crew down here and record an episode. Actually, I might just see if we can get Mark and them guys just to pop up. Bill wants to be on the episode again, so we're gonna work with Bill sometime later.
Yeah, it's been a while since we got to talk to Bill.
Yeah, it was kind of nice seeing Bill yesterday. He came in the shop, talked a little bit. But, okay, as you come into the shop, perfect transition to the Group Therapy Podcast is brought to you by
Are You Game?
Are You Game, the best comic book video game, magic,
yada, yada.
role-playing, blah, 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 store in all of Piqua, Ohio. You can find us at 124 North Sunset Drive, Piqua, Ohio, 45356. And we do ship all over the United States. We don't ship internationally because that's a huge pain in the butt.
So any viewers in some foreign country,
I'm
sorry.
And we do have some people who check us out overseas. So, hola, konnichiwa.
No habla español. I do not claim to know any language. I barely know English.
Let's see if I can remember. Konnichiwa. Hola. Ohio.
Ohio and konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. But
Japanese.
it's yes.
Ohio specifically for like morning.
For good morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we're doing it. Guten Tag. I used to know more. I used to know a whole bunch because that was one. Because yet again, we're going to get back to when I worked at Hollywood Video. When I worked at Hollywood Video, we were supposed to give everybody that walked through the door, because you're supposed to acknowledge everybody who walked through the door. You're supposed to greet everybody who walked through the door. So we're supposed to give everybody a hearty hello and welcome. So I literally sat down and I learned hello, good day, whatever in like 15 different languages.
Just so you could...
Just so I could greet everybody that walked through the door in a different language. And what was great was getting to know, and then it didn't hurt that when I got older, I worked at a hotel, and my hotel that I worked for was Thai. Thai was Korean, South Korean. Super. I shouldn't say South Korean because there's only one Korean that would be allowed in the United States. I guess I don't know how that works, but Ty was a great guy. He taught me some Korean, which I don't remember hardly any of it to this day. And then there had the Mexican restaurant in there, and I got to hang out with a lot of the guys that worked there at the Mexican restaurant, and
they moved over by where the Walmart is.
Yeah, now it's gone. Now that one doesn't even exist. Now the only one they have is the one in Troy. But yeah, we got to know them.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
I was like real little when we lived there.
Yeah, but you got to play with a lot. You guys all played with the kids and stuff like that.
We were in the. So. There's a swimming pool out back. I remember playing Smash Brothers. Nintendo 64. I would play in the mornings before the school bus came by to pick me up for kindergarten.
Yep, and a lot of crews in Norma. If you ever see this, because
I think I was on the turtle bus.
Yeah, I think you were.
I don't know why I remember something like that. I don't remember where. I don't remember a lot of things, but I remember that I was on the turtle bus. Well, I was either on the turtle bus or the Black Bear bus.
You were on both of them because we moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we moved and you went from being on the turtle bus out. I think the turtle bus was at the apartments of the hotel, and then the Black Bear bus was when we moved over to Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Wow. That felt like that was forever ago. Oh, the heater just kicked on.
Every time I remember being a little kid, it's just like, I'm only 23, but I feel like I'm 73.
Oh, man. I remember bits and pieces, and it's funny because we're going to talk about some Christmas stuff and stuff today because we're filming this the Sunday before Christmas. Mm-hmm. So we're going to post this.
This is the Christmas special.
This is the Christmas special. Notice all the Christmas decorations and Christmas lights. Because
also, I guess this is also the Boxing Day special, Kwanzaa special, Hanukkah special, whatever you celebrate.
Yeah.
The war on Christmas is really real and going on, so we got to acknowledge other holidays during this time.
And Vince is sitting over here.
He's trying to crash our party.
The party.
Go on, play, bud. So. But no, we're gonna do some Christmas stuff. We're gonna talk about some Christmas stuff. Talk about see, I want to talk about school at Christmas time. I don't know how many of you guys did anything, but we all went. He went to public school until he transferred into homeschool,
and then he went back.
Yep. So, all right, hold on a second.
Here goes nothing.
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Vince is just hanging out once it's. He loves. Hanging out on camera when the camera's not actually on. So we did I went through Piqua school system all the way until high school, but every year start getting into Christmas time, they would start bringing in at the 16 millimeter projectors, and in the classrooms they'd bring in the old VCRs, and you would watch
the old
Christmas specials. All of them. And then you'd go home and watch them because they'd be back on regular TV.
Because a lot of them were public domain.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is now they're all owned. Yeah. But that was back in the day when schools didn't have to get...
I wasn't very good.
Okay, bud. Go play.
Schools technically, if fair use covers educational purposes, which a lot of people forget.
Yeah. Well,
What's for a day?
I remember sitting there because you would go in, and every year because I was at the beginning of the VCR age, so you actually had some of the old school VCRs, the one with the giant tapes, like the size of, like the ones the size of this book. You're like clunk, and you would, and it would have like one episode on it because that's all the footage that would fit on one of them old school tapes back in the day. You could get like a.
Hey,
so
Vince.
Yep. So hold on 1 second here. Vince,
What?
go.
No, Ted, it's okay.
It's not okay. Go.
Come on. Go play.
No.
You can.
Okay. Go upstairs
Okay.
and watch TV.
It's okay.
I'm gonna have to edit this out.
Here.
3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So, we would sit there and it would bring in the VCR. They would bring in, but when they would bring in everybody and we'd all go into the auditorium. Do you remember those? Did you ever do that when you were
I
in
don't
school?
think we did.
Oh, we'd go to the auditorium. They'd pull out the 16 millimeter projector, and you would hook it up, and you'd watch it on a big
We
projector.
just watched it in the classroom.
Yeah.
If they were to put on an old Christmas movie.
Yeah, and then the old when they'd have to do the Christmas plays and stuff like that, the musicals, they'd make all
Oh,
you.
I did not like being
Oh,
on
I
the
hate it.
stage.
I hated those when I was a kid. I despised those.
I think they made us.
They made all the kids. I think that is a horrible thing to do to a child.
Sometimes I would like go up there and just kind of like purposely sing slightly out of tune.
Yeah, you just go. "Da, na, 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 na." But they would make these kids, and then we would go through all, because you remember going through the music classes where you would learn everything, and you'd have.
I was like,
to,
oh boy, music class. I'm gonna, and then it's just singing, and it's like singing songs I have like no interest in singing because they're just like written for school books.
Oh my God. See, what I like when it didn't even happen until I hit junior high, but when we got to junior high, we were actually allowed, as long as there was no profanity in it, we could bring in music, and each week a different kid got to pick a song, and you brought in your tape, your tapes, because no one had, or your 45 or your LP or whatever, because no one had a CD player back in. They were available. They just weren't readily available. But you'd sit in there in the stupid classroom, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. But they'd make all the parents come in and see you guys, and everybody get pictures of all the kids standing up on stage, and
I was just sitting there up there like, I want out of here. I want to go home and play video games.
no. The thing is that they should ask kids. They really should go, do you want to do this? And most kids go, no, I don't want to do this.
That's the problem. They wouldn't get anybody to do it.
There's always the kids that would. There's always
That's
kids
fair.
that will. Because there's always kids that want to, see more. Hey, will you turn that down, bud? That want to be, I think this should be extra credit. I think you should get like bonus points for it somehow in some class. But you don't. It's something you have to do, and no kids want to do it. And to be honest, as a parent, I mean, I went because they're my kids. I love my kids, but that's hard to do because it's at night. I worked second shift when you guys were little for the most of the time. That was hard for me to get time off to go do that, and they don't look at that, and I don't think that's fair for a lot of kids. So I don't know. We went and you'd always have that every year. You'd always be drinking out the stuff. You'd always watch like Frosty and Rudolph and the Santa Claus Comes to Town and stuff like that. And then you start getting
Honestly, a lot of them, like specifically the it starts with the B.
Rankin and Bass.
Rankin Bass. Them are actually legitimately good. Like, I'm gonna be honest, they hold up. Like, seriously, like,
Oh
you can watch them as an adult and still have a good time.
Well, the best part about it is Rankin and Bass is also the company that brought us Thundercats.
Yeah, and
like
some
Tiger
of the,
Sharks and
the last
some
like
rocks.
Rankin and Bass project was their was their last stop motion movie too, and it was like the last big thing they worked on, and it was like a thing that's like it was a Santa Claus special. But as I was telling Dad about this, you can tell a lot of the Thundercats staff worked on this one because a lot of the human puppets looked kind of ugly, but like the monster puppets were like weird and kind of cool looking because they were done by the Thundercat staff. Like they were like kind of these gorilla, had these like big like teeth things. And they're like, it's one of the lesser known ones because everybody thinks of Rudolph, Frosty, the one with the miser brothers.
You had like Little Drummer Boy one. You had the Heat Miser and Jack Frost. Oh my god. Well, what's funny is that I remember watching. This is gonna tell how old I am. I watched the Bozo Show on WGN out of Chicago in the morning, and in the morning had the Bozo Show.
Chicago.
And they would show the old like black and white cartoons at Christmas time, and you had like oh man, the one with the elves, and it's I can't remember. I remember the song like in my head. Now that I need to do it, I can't do it. But then again, I don't want to do it because I don't want copyrights and stuff. So
yeah, the bots will come out when you just sing the little tune.
Yeah,
like you don't even have to play it. The bot, like we live in a cyberpunk nightmare society.
Except for the cyberpunk nightmare is that cyberpunk won't work. For those of you who don't know, topical humor, boom, boom, is the Cyberpunk 2077 game
is
horribly broken. I know people who are like, "Oh, it's good. You just gotta get past the little blips and pieces." But
Joe got it and pre-ordered it. He immensely regrets his purchase.
Joe, to be honest though, Joe almost immediately regrets almost every purchase he's ever made.
It's because he has horrible luck.
Yeah, well, he has. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I stopped pre-ordering games.
Wasn't the last one you pre-ordered? The last one you got was the Aliens Colonial Marines.
No. I didn't get. I pre-ordered that one. It took so long. I canceled it.
And then it finally came out.
Every game that I pre-order, for the most part, either gets postponed indefinitely or just out and out canceled. Or it's awful. Or it's awful. I pre-ordered the one of the Conan games that never came out for the Xbox 360. I pre-ordered the which ends up being a good game, but it took forever. It took so long that I canceled it. And it was the Ghostbusters game.
Yeah, I hear the Ghostbusters game was really good.
Yeah, but it's one of the ones where I waited so long that I'm like, yeah, this game's never coming out. So I just canceled
it. And then it came out.
And then it came out.
And you're like, fuck.
Oh man, I get angry. But Christmas is fun. Because you get the very special Christmas episodes of everything.
I wanted to bring up something else related to Rankin and Bass. I watched a video a couple days ago that talked about some of the lesser known Rankin and Bass projects. And did you know that they're the guy who primarily worked on their stop motion was a guy who went uncredited for years? He was actually a Japanese stop motion.
That seems about right. Because they didn't credit animators back in the day because it was the company and not the animators. Mm-hmm. Well, what's funny is that, okay, you go back and look at Silverhawks. Mm-hmm. Look at Hardware. Mm-hmm. You know which one I'm talking about? The little goblin. Mm-hmm. He's directly taken from the Lord of the Rings animation that they did. Mm-hmm. If you look at it, he is
Rankin and Bass worked on the really good Lord of the Rings animated movie.
Oh yeah.
But the first, this guy, I can't remember his name. His name escapes me. He was in China after World War II, worked on the first Chinese stop motion project, went back to Japan, and then went to America after that to work on Rankin and Bass's first project, which was The New Adventures of Pinocchio. And that show was a fever dream. Because at some point, it just stops being about Pinocchio, but the intro remains the same. And yet, Pinocchio is just completely absent from all the episodes. Despite the fact that he's in the intro before the show finally ended.
Well, that's
But yeah, this Japanese guy, he worked on like a lot of Rankin and Bass projects up until another one of the Christmas specials. Except he there were some other guys who worked under him, and once he left, they sort of took up his mantle.
Yeah.
And those guys are also kind of uncredited and kind of lost to history. If you know these animators, you gotta, like, you know, put their names out there, because we don't want to let these guys' work be forgotten forever.
What's that stupid thing?
Anyway.
Okay. But no, every year at Christmas time, I remember there was always the very special Christmas episode of insert sitcom here.
Insert show, sitcom, cartoon.
Well, you have the notorious, as if the Star Wars Holiday Special wasn't bad, the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Christmas Special. I think it's legit like the only time you ever see Moss Man in the cartoon, and he's in the background. It's
I am not nice.
Here we go. Here's the guy who did the art director for
Katsuhito Akiyama.
That's
known for his...
he's the Thundercats director.
Yeah, this isn't... I don't think
no,
this is the
that's not
guy.
the same guy. But we did, because that's definitely a Japanese name.
Yeah, he worked on Beast King Go Lion as well.
Yes, that's ends up being Voltron.
Voltron, yeah.
Yes, Go Lion Voltron. I always like the very special where they bring back old sitcoms, like the very Brady Christmas, where the Brady Bunch had been off for a decade. And so they're like, you know what, we need more Brady Bunch as adults. Said no one ever. But you know what, I've watched the shit.
He worked on Bubblegum Crisis.
Oh yeah, Bubblegum Crisis. One of the best animes ever.
Worked on, the Thundercats the movie. Thundercats.
Yep. As we go through this, guys.
Worked on Appleseed.
No, yeah. Well, see, a lot of the really great...
Yeah, he was a storyboard artist for a lot of stuff, too.
Oh, so I'm sitting there at the shop, and I was running old episodes of the anime Machine Robo. Machine Robo is, in Japan, it's what GoBots
became.
It's machine robots. If you ever go and you ever look at a GoBot...
GoBots came first, remember that.
Yeah, GoBots... Well, actually... They were before that because GoBots in Japan were Machine Robo, and Transformers were Diaclone and Microman. Mm-hmm. So, but no, you take your GoBot, you flip him over, and there's a little designation on the inside of his leg. It's like MR001, which is Leader 1, and MR002, which is like Sidekill. But you look through that, but that's Machine Robo. Well, in Japan, there's Machine Robo, and it has this cartoon series. Mm-hmm. It's more serious and stuff like that. I'm sitting there watching it. This dude looking at it, and he's like, "Is that the GoBots?" And I'm like, "Nope, that's not the GoBots."
You should have said technically it's the GoBots.
Yeah, it's got GoBots in it. It's got
it's what the GoBots became.
Yeah. It's got a bunch of those, but
it's what became
GoBots. Yeah. Oh, but
there was a Christmas special for everything.
Yes, there was. There was Christmas specials for now it's fun because they're bringing back on a lot of sitcoms. They give you the Christmas special, but the Goldbergs, which I love, had the Super Hanukkah special, and I freaking
because the war on Christmas is real.
But shows that used to have Christmas specials don't have Christmas specials anymore. They end at Thanksgiving time, and then they don't restart until like second week of January. So they skip that entire month.
Christmas.
A month and a half, so they don't have to make anything. I think the Connors had a Thanksgiving special, and then I want to say they put like one episode after that, and then nothing. So, and then you got me. I was like, I like how Hulu has it, so you can go through it and watch the special holiday episodes of all the shows that they have on there. So, okay.
Sorry, it's itchy there.
But oh my god! Now I gotta get to this because I want to talk about the freaking getting presents at Christmas time. Finally, last year, it finally happened for me. Since 1980. 1980. I wanted one thing for Christmas.
1980.
Yeah, an AT-AT.
And you got one. You got one for yourself.
No. See, here's how it worked. I'd already bought one. I've owned a few of them over the years. And I've got a couple of them over there. But I bought one. An original one. Your brother Joe goes, how much did you buy that for? I was like, I got it for $10 at like some kid off of Facebook. And Joe gives me $10. And then he goes, I'm buying this. And then he gives it back to me. So he goes, now you finally got one for Christmas. So I finally got my AT-AT in a weird roundabout way. But I got an AT-AT last year for Christmas. Now
Your
everybody's
dream
like,
has been fulfilled.
now everybody's like, you can shut up about it. I was like, now I need to get one in the box.
The collector.
Oh yeah. Now I'd like to get a. I don't even know what else did I want for. Oh, I had the flag. I would like to get the flag for Christmas. If somebody wants to buy me the GI Joe flag. Actually, I don't want the GI Joe flag.
I take up too much room.
It's 6.5 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot. It's massive. I ain't got no place to put it. Same way with I was going to buy the Terradrome in a couple months back. I'm sitting there staring at it at a toy show, and I'm like, yeah, that would. Then I'm like, it wouldn't even fit in my trunk. it's like the size of this table.
And you would have to get the truck,
and
we don't have a truck.
No, I'd have to go get the van, but the van, I got to fix the brakes on the van before I drive it anywhere because it's taking a break for winter. But I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it. I want it. I got the money. I will buy it. And then I thought to myself, that's awesome, but where am I going to put it? It's too big. I never thought in my entire life that I would go, you know what? That's something I always wanted, and I have no place to put it right now. So, I'll probably end up with one down the road, and I probably might buy one, but it'll be put in storage for, like, most of my G.I. Joe collection. Well, almost all of my G.I. Joe collection is in storage. And I did get like the old school G.I. Joe base and a couple other bases which aren't as big, but there's the original G.I. Joe base was like that long, stood about a high. I mean, it's big. It's just kind of awkward, but it's cool. Mm-hmm. But the flag, I had one, and it was just massive. And I put it together like a handful of times and played with it, and set it up. But I will tell you the horror story of what happened to my G.I. Joe flag. This is when we lived over on North Roosevelt.
Is it something to do with me and you, Joe?
Nope.
Oh, we didn't do it for once.
You did not do this. The upstairs neighbors, because we had an apartment, we were downstairs, they were upstairs, flushed so much big stuff down the toilet that you're not supposed to flush.
Oh, no.
Feminine hygiene products and whatnot. That it backed the sewer up into the basement.
Oh no!
So my GI Joe
warning for everyone at home. Don't
warning
eat right now.
Yeah,
just
so
halt.
My GI Joe flag was on a skid in the basement. Well, all the parts were in boxes, and then the deck plates were up against that because they're huge. I go down in the basement. And there is probably 18 inches of raw sewage backed up into our basement.
Oh, it's sickening.
All over my...
I think I finished my drink.
Yeah. All over my flag that was sitting in the basement.
That was probably one of the saddest days.
Oh, it sat there for... It had been in my basement at that basement for like 5 years.
Yeah,
and no, we lived there for quite a while, but it sat there for a while. Never nothing, never so much as never got a mouse in the box, no nothing. And I was so mad, and it just had. And then they cleaned it all out. They got all the sewage out and everything.
But you could not.
But literally, you had crusted white sewage all over the deck plate.
It was unsavable.
Yeah, that was not gonna come clean. It was yeah. I was like,
You had to give it like a burial. It's like,
oh man, I was so beyond angry when that did that, because that I had the flag, and it's something I wanted when I was a kid, and then I had it, and then
they're getting pretty hard to come by now.
you'd think that, but people are still finding them and all the time. Now people keep finding them in boxes, which is insane to me to think. The one I still want, the big toy I want, is I love Sectors. Here's the comic book for Sectors.
Sectors.
The Hive playset, the big ass Hive playset. It's like Castle Grayskull, but for Sectors. And I remember seeing the box when I was a kid, and this thing was massive. It was like, I want to say the box was like that big, as people, if you're listening to this, I want to say the box was like 3 foot by 2.5 by
about the size of a mini fridge.
Yeah, by about 18 inches or so. I almost bought one yet again this year, but yet again I
you don't have any room for it.
I don't have room for it. It's neat and it's something I want, but it's something that I
gotta make the room.
I gotta make room for it. But being a kid, you love these big play sets, the giant play sets,
because it's like more place for you to play with your action figures.
Oh man, things I always thought would have been great, because I had a Death Star play set when I was a kid, which was cool, but it was literally only like 2 foot tall. It was in a weird triangle shape.
Because it was kind of like cut off.
It was a cut off, so it had the turbo laser at the top. You had the extendable.
You can put inside.
Yeah, and you could wiggle them so they could move. Yeah, you had the trash compactor, which I still have the trash. I got a trash compactor monster recently in a buy I got for the store. But I had that place that's awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a big fan of ships, and I still am.
Ships are cool.
G.I. Joe had so many cool vehicles, and Star Wars had a lot of cool, shit ton of cool vehicles.
Feels like Star Wars was made to sell vehicle toys.
Well, definitely.
X-Wings are cool. Y-Wings are cool. Millennium Falcon is cool.
TIE Fighters.
A-Wings are cool.
I love A-Wings.
Even the prequel ships I like. I love the Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah, oh my god, all the Jedi Starfighter vehicles were freaking awesome. I also like the U-Wing fighter from Troop Carrier from Rogue One, where the wing flipped back from the front and did that. See, this is what it is. Hasbro needs to get on this. We're getting action figures. We're getting some play sets. Like they released but the play sets are kind of bizarre. They do a lot of hallways and
you need a big base.
They got the freeze chamber from, but we don't. That's awesome and all, but
Kids want a place where they can have a fight.
Yeah, I want the throne room where Luke and Vader can fight. I want the
kids don't want to recreate scenes. They want to fight.
Yeah, dude.
Trust me.
I
was a kid once.
When I was a kid, dude, I would have I wouldn't wanted the Jedi Council room with the Jedi sitting on their chairs as a play set, because that's what you would have got. But I would have
wanted is maybe the destroyed Jedi Temple.
Oh yeah, or the Mustafar play set.
Yeah.
So you have
like little plastic lava.
Oh yeah,
it's just kind of.
It would be awesome if you had a light, so you could flip a light on and the lava would glow. So
then you're like,
I have the high ground. No, you were my brother, Anakin. As of my horrible Ewan McGregor impersonation.
Speaking of Ewan McGregor, big Star Wars news. Ewan McGregor and
Hayden
Christensen are going to be back for the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Personally, I really for an Obi-Wan series, because this is post Episode 3 Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan doesn't need to go on a big adventure after the events of episode 3.
Well, I think
I would have preferred like a more muted kind of series.
I
Or
think
heck, even like he has this whole grand adventure and then he wakes up and it's all a dream.
I think the thing
It's
is
like
though
what
is
could be.
I
'Cause
think
he's like sad old man at this point.
I think a lot of it's going to be told in flashbacks because we're actually going to get Ewan McGregor in the Jedi armor, and we're going to get him fighting side by side with Anakin. So we're going to have we're going to have live action scenes from the Clone Wars cartoon series, and I am okay with that. And as of right now, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I never thought when I saw Favreau back in the day as an actor, and then his directing, I never thought the guy who did Elf and Zathura would go on to direct Iron Man and then create The Mandalorian. You know, you're just like, oh my god. And the fact that the last episode of The Mandalorian, we're going to get back to Mandalorian here again, is directed by Peyton Reed. So here you go. The guy who directed Ant-Man is directing an episode written by the guy who did Iron Man.
Iron Man.
And
Favreau's pretty talented director. Honestly, I really like his one movie about the guy in the food truck.
you know, I gotta sit down and watch that.
This is like a very it's very clearly a movie.
Well, he
that
stars in it too. Yeah,
Favreau wanted to make because it's about a famous chef who decides to just run a food truck, and it kind of the story in the movie is sort of mirroring the story of the making of the movie. Because here we have big name director Jon Favreau, fresh off of Iron Man, working on a little indie project.
Yep. So
that's really cool.
But oh my god! But getting back, you know. It's funny because I look at Vince is 10 now, and he's we ask him what he wants for Christmas. He tells us what he wants for Christmas, stuff like that. He sees all the cartoon stuff on. He goes, "Oh, I want this," because he saw the commercial. And I'm like, "All right."
It's just like you, just like us.
Yeah.
We would see commercials on kids networking works, which is scary.
Well, what it was everybody goes, "Well, all they think 80s cartoons were commercials to sell toys." Well, duh. And as you can read in this book, there's the whole chapter. The whole beginning of this book is talking about making
glorified commercials.
Finally being able to make cartoons, and but we got everything. I'm going to point out a couple of them here. Is Marvel, of all things, did the Sectors comic book. Lasted, I believe it's only lasted 7 issues. I think this is the last issue, actually. Even though there's another issue after this, The Day of Reckoning. I believe issue 7 is the last one. But Sectors only got the 5-part miniseries like G.I. Joe and Transformers did, and they never went into it. Robotics... That's this. It got 1 issue of a comic book, and got a TV series. But the TV series was on the same time because they did Robotics, Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines, and Gem, where they did 10-minute segments, which weren't even 10 minutes. So you got like 8 minutes between commercials. But then they did that, and then they released all those episodes. Instead of making a season, they just made a movie, and that was it. That's all you got for Robotics. But the funny part about it is, out of all the toys that are still going, this one never stopped being made. The Robotics changed hands several times, but the toys are still being made today. They're not this kind. They're not the monsters and stuff. But you make the monsters out, the robots, and you can do things with the little motors and whatnot. This was one of my favorite toys I got for Christmas. Because you could build... Because I had this one. I had Argus. This one, and I had, I think, that one. As those people who say... I believe I had this one and this one in toy form. They were cool because you put a little servo motor in here, and you ran it back, so you go... And it was like... His neck would move. His arms would move. the clawed hand would grab and do that stuff. But the funny part about it is this piece right here was a giant battery pack. So
that thing 8 batteries like nobody's business.
surprisingly enough, no. It took, I think, D batteries. So it was either D or C batteries. It was the big honking batteries. I loved that toy that I got for Christmas.
We're not being as vulgar today because Vincent's just over there off screen.
And then on top of it,
we're a family show.
Family show today.
TV.
So, but I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to talk more about toys we got for Christmas and stuff like that we liked and whatnot. But I think we're going to take a break and
get a refill.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Don't touch that dial.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey kids, is your afternoon kind of boring? Well, let the Funshine Festival put a zing into it. Starting at 2, it's the heroes you can trust, the Super Friends. At 2:30, they're a gang of cosmic cowboys ready for any laser draw. They're the Galaxy Rangers. Then 33's resident Fat Cat hits us for fun and mischief. At 3, it's Heathcliff.
Thanks, guys.
Join the afternoon Funshine because TV 33 loves kids.
He's getting mean. He's breaking the line for the G.I. Joe team.
That's right, it's William the Refrigerator Perry.
The bridge destroying G.I. Joe.
And you can get a free fridge. Here's how.
Collect 5 fridge certificates or call the number on the certificate and the fridge will tell you how to get in on the action. With only 4 certificates, there's a $1 handling charge. See details on specially marked G.I. Joe packages.
Watch out, Cobra. Fridge is coming through.
Go, Joe!
And we're back.
Off camera.
Brandon is running around the bar and spilling his drink on the floor because he filled it to the top. Boy, you're a horrible bartender. No bartender would ever fill a drink that full.
Well, I'm not a bartender. I'm
There,
making
you
it
get that
for
towel
myself.
right there, that white one. There you go. That's the one I use to clean. But one of my favorite things is for Christmas, I was the first one of my friends to get one of the greatest toys of all time. I got a VCR.
Nice.
Yeah. See,
you're like, I can watch movies.
back in the day, when parents got divorced, they would buy their children guilt presents.
It's a horrible practice.
They would try to buy the child's love. Now I give my mom and dad crap, but I whatever. I can say this now, but whatever. But yeah, I was the first one of my friends to get. So I would watch movies constantly and record everything off TV, and I had just hours upon hours upon hours of cartoons that were all lost to time, which kills me because some of that stuff is really lost to time. Like I know I had
Cartoons that aired once.
Yeah. Like I remember having Pride of the X-Men, but I had on a tape that I recorded, but I had the first couple minutes, like the first 30 seconds were missing, because as soon as I seen it come on, I grabbed the tape and I shoved it in, and hit record, but I lost the very beginning, so I would rewatch that over and over and over again until I finally was able to get a legal copy.
Legal, yes.
Well, no, the thing is they actually offered through Marvel Comics back in the day. You would go and it was like
stuff in the back of the issues.
Yeah, you'd see it in the back of the thing. They're like, you can order this, and I ordered it, and so I watched it a billion freaking times. Hey, it's funny because we were talking about GoBots. What's on the back of Sector's GoBots? It's trying to get you to buy quick. This is win a complete set of GoBot toys, according to announcing the Nestle Quick Challenge of the GoBots game. 250,000 prizes. See specially marked packages of Nesquik for free instant game winner game card. Grand prize, complete set of GoBots. First prize, GoBot messenger vehicle. Second prize, GoBot action figure. And then it goes down, but from there. But yeah, I bought that, and I still have it to this day. It's in my file cabinet at the shop. Because I have Pride of the X-Men, which was the pilot, because they did the backdoor pilots for X-Men in 2 episodes of
The Amazing Friends.
Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. which we finally got, and then that was when X-Men were starting to really hit it big. But then I guess they decided not to, which just blows my mind given the fact of how big those were. And what do you need, bud?
A clue.
You don't need a clue.
I think it's on the tablet.
So we would. I was like I said, I got that.
Remote controllers.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of your remote controllers over there. I remember getting my Atari for Christmas, which I played and played and played and played and played and played and played. Because, Atari, man, that was the shit back in, 1979.
It's the only thing you had in 1979.
No, I had Pong, too.
Oh.
I had the boom, but it was a console.
It was the knobs on
the console. So I had to sit and Vince, get out of there.
No.
Vince, get. Oh my God. No. Keep talking.
No,
Brandon,
Vince, you don't need it. Hey, you don't need that.
Okay. Sorry about that. But I had the old school Pong console, and literally you'd have to set over here, and the sound did not come through the TV. The sound came from the Pong console. Mm-hmm. So it'd be like boom, 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 and the other person's literally 6 inches away from you.
She's like, I'm gonna get you.
Yep.
You son of...
Well, then I had at the shop. I had the
And the AI started cheating because the AI would move faster than you could.
Then there's no way. Yeah. Well, what was funny is that about 2 years ago I got the triangular shaped one. So it had Pong and tennis, and then you had, I want to say, soccer. But you had to turn the console and flip the switch, and then you would turn it again. And it came with a Wild West game, so it came with a little gun that you'd shoot. Mm-hmm. It was horrible. It's a horrible game because it plays so bad, but it was such an obscure thing. Mm-hmm. Wasn't worth a whole lot. I thought it'd be worth a lot, but nope, I was wrong. But what was one of your favorite things you got for Christmas that we bought you for Christmas?
I would definitely say, because looking back, a lot of that, my birthdays and Christmas kind of blend together. Because I was born in February. I was born on the 24th of February. Unfortunately, the same day the Nazi Party was born. So, if we plan on making the 24th a national holiday, make it about me and not the other thing.
Oh, I don't think I'll make it about the other thing. Well, what I keep joking around is that we wanted all of our kids to be far enough apart so that they wouldn't have to celebrate. So, literally, TJ's birthday is February 2nd. Yours is February 24th. Then you skip several months. Then you skip 6 months. Then you get Vince's birthday.
On August 24th.
And then you get 2 weeks later, you get Joe's birthday. I separated them out by years, but not by dates. But I remember you guys getting all excited at Christmas time, and you didn't really care how much stuff you got for Christmas.
I like the food at Christmas time.
You just loved getting stuff for Christmas. You would get so excited when especially I think we got you
like I said, birthdays and Christmas kind of growing up, it kind of blends together.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say the Wii. But then I remembered that was a birthday present.
That was a great present for your birthday.
Yeah, I was like, oh. I didn't even see it when I first walked in the house.
Literally, I mean, I don't want to be, it's going to sound horrible as a parent. But we bought him a Wii for his birthday. And we took the Wii out, set the Wii up on top of the TV. So this is back in the day when we had the big projection console TV. So this thing is 5 foot tall by 6.5 foot long, and it was set on top of that for several days.
And I just didn't notice it.
And he went by it, I don't know how many times, never paid attention. There's a Wii on top of the TV. So we packaged the box up, put just the game. So what would we get you, Zelda?
Yeah, because Zelda came with it.
So we put Zelda inside it, wrapped it up, and you got all excited. You opened it up, was like, oh man, this is awesome! Yeah, thank you. And then he opens it up, pulls it out, and then he looks and he goes, What's the matter? We're like, what's the matter? He goes, there's just a game inside.
I can't play it.
Well, at least I got a game. And then we were like, go look on top of the TV. And he runs in. He's like, oh my God, I got a Wii. I got a Wii. And, oh man, I just remember you guys getting stuff and it was just like.
You could have given me like a piece of wood, and I would have been the happiest kid.
I remember
on
the
earth.
one year I bought you guys just a bunch of N64 cartridges when I worked at Hollywood Video.
You're just like, oh.
Yeah, because they were liquidating and getting rid of all of them from the rental, so I was able to buy them for like next to nothing. So I just stocked up for Christmas,
and we still got a good chunk of them.
Yeah,
unfortunately, a lot of them are boxed up, and
yeah, I know where the box is over there, but no, some of them are upstairs boxed up and elsewhere. Oh my God, one of my favorite things I ever got was I got the fake laser tag.
Oh, where it's like we got that, and like the moment it started getting warm, I think we lived on Covington, and Joe and I were like, just out in the yard, out running around the front yard, the backyard.
Yeah. Now when I was a kid, I got the fake one, the knockoff laser tag, because I think that one's actually was real laser tag, just decades of separated. But it was the one that had the reflector, not the thing. So you fire it, it would reflect back at the gun, and then the gun would acknowledge. And then you had a little robot that you could shoot at. I had those. And it wasn't up until I got older that I was able to actually buy a laser tag. Which I still have. My laser tag guns were long gone, but I ended up getting some laser tag guns recently. Those are some of the coolest looking guns ever, though. They're great for just look like cosplay and stuff like that. That and the laser tag gun does appear in Ready Player One, the movie, which pretty much everything that you could think of is appears in Ready Player One. If it was a childhood thing, it appears. I can't say that because there's no G.I. Joe.
Don't read the book.
There's no G.I. Joe, there's no Transformers, there's no He-Man, there's no...
Ernest Cline is a hack. Don't read the Ready Player One book. A lot of what makes the movie good was Steven Spielberg being like, all right, Mr. Cline, this sucks. Here's what we're going to put in the movie to make it not suck.
See, I know people... I've never read the book. I have no desire to read the book. I love the movie. But then again, the movie, for me, is Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg. Of the Steven Spielbergs.
Spielberg sounds like a real fake last name. Like it'd be like the name of like an evil character in like an 80s movie. He's like Mr. John Spielberg. I'm building my fancy corporation building on top of the skate park.
I'm going to tear down these apartment buildings.
No way, Mr. Spielberg.
And then you're going to come at me during Christmas time and tell me the evil of my ways.
We're going to skateboard and show you what's what.
I love it. I was seeing the meme, though, because it had the Christmas Carol abridged. So it's like, Christmas sucks. And then it shows him laying in bed and these three ghosts going, you suck. And then he's like, I love Christmas. But man, tell you what, some of the best Christmas movies, full Christmas movies, like Scrooged and Gremlins and Nightmare Before Christmas, which is both Halloween and a Christmas movie. So that's double down on your holiday.
Everyone associates Nightmare Before Christmas with Tim Burton, but... honestly, Tim Burton didn't do a whole lot of work on that. He was working on Batman at the time.
Yeah, he produced it and basically came up with the concept and stuff like that.
It was mostly, most of Nightmare Before Christmas was another guy I can't remember the name of.
It's the same one that went to go do James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah. Which is also pretty... I watched that one in school, actually.
Oh, man.
It was a weird... Like, they put on James and the Giant Peach. That was a good movie.
We took you guys to see James and the Giant Peach when you were little.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember because you were probably...
we were real little. But then we saw it in school and it was like, oh man,
yeah.
I can't believe I'm watching a real movie in school if it doesn't stink.
See, that's what was funny because I'm going to go back to this. During the holidays, you would occasionally get to see good movies. I saw Star Wars at my school because you had a 16 millimeter version of it, and they showed Star Wars. We got to see Black Hole, which is really kind of messed up if you watch Black Hole, because the ending, the bad guys end up in hell. Legit, the bad guys end up in hell, and it's in the movie. It's not like it's a deleted scene or anything. No, it's in the movie. The bad guys inside the robot in hell. Okay.
Most of the time, like, I remember watching riff tracks, and it's like they riff these, you know, these pretty hilarious old, like, propaganda and educational films, and it's like, I kind of wish I grew up with these, because these are hilarious.
Well, my favorite one is Mr. Bungle.
Mr. Bungle.
See, the thing is, though, that's where Mr. Bungle, the band, got his name. Was from Mr. Bungle.
Because it sounds like Mr. Bungle.
No, it's because he was Mr. Bungle, like he bungles things, you know.
But it also sounds like Mr. Bungle.
Well, that's like Private Snafu videos from the military. Mm-hmm. And you had the cartoon Private Snafu, and I'm like, that's situation normal, all up. And that's supposed to be aimed towards kids. What the hell? I'm the okay.
I think one of my favorite ones that the riff tracks covered was the Egg movie. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
That's one I can watch like several times.
Oh my god! Did you see you missed out because you didn't want to go, but me, your brother Joe, and Bill Tucker.
I went to the riff tracks live with you guys.
Did you go to Santa Claus versus the Martians?
I don't think I went to that one.
Did you go? You went to?
I went to
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. I think I saw Starship Troopers live.
Yeah.
I saw. Crap! There was another one I saw.
Did you see
Godzilla '98?
Yeah. Because you did not go with us when we went and seen Manos.
Hands of Fate.
Manos. Hands of Fate. Manos.
That was all, like, I love the story that was all just ad-libbed because the movie's, like, car scene just went on so long that they ran out of material. So they were just like, Manos, Hands of Fate.
They just kept saying, well, I love the fact that entire movie is recorded 30 seconds at a time on a hand-wind camera. So you got the... And the fact that there's a sequel to it that came out recently. That was the Rise of Torgo. But see, it doesn't match because the guy who played Torgo like killed himself, which is depressing as hell. If those who don't know, go find the movie Manos Hands of Fate, but do not just watch Manos Hands of Fate. It's god awful, horrible. It's slow. It's monotonous.
If you're gonna just watch it, skip the opening car bit, and like, because at that point it's a fun bad movie. After that bit, it's a fun bad movie.
Yeah. Well,
honestly, give me a fun bad movie over a mediocre movie any day. Because with a fun bad movie, you're having a good time watching it. It's not good, but you're having a good time watching it. If you're just watching like a boring or mediocre movie, it's just like
the worst thing a movie can be is boring.
Yeah,
the worst thing. There are movies out there that I find there's movies that people love that I just find monotonous and boring. I'm gonna have to do it. We're gonna do another entire episode on that again. We did one a while back.
Still don't like Titanic?
Oh, Titanic's god awful horrible. But I don't much care for Avatar.
Mm-hmm. Neither do I. I hate Avatar.
I think Avatar.
Nobody remembers Avatar. It just came out, and just like everybody forgot it. But for some reason, it made a ridiculous amount of money.
Well,
it gave James Cameron a huge He already had a big ego, but it gave him an even bigger ego.
It gave him It was the first big 3D movie, and it looks beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. You sit down and watch Avatar. It's a beautiful looking movie.
Unobtainium,
yeah. And I like some of the people that are in that. I like Michelle Rodriguez. I like Stephen Lang. Stephen Lang is the crazy Marine. Mm-hmm. He's great. But then again, Stephen Lang's great as the crazy insert whatever his job is. What's funny is people forget he was in Tombstone as the coward. Mm-hmm. He's the cowardly guy who keeps running away from and survives to the end, past the end until but that was way early in his career. But no, sit down and with last mention. Oh yeah, Avatar. I think it's okay. It's like, yeah, okay. Now I had people who were like, I never went and seen it in the theater. I couldn't get past. It would never live up to the hype, and it didn't, and it still does not live up to the hype. As many movies as I own, I have no desire to ever own Avatar. I own movies I literally hate. The Alien Covenant, I own it.
You despise
I
it.
despise that movie.
You went back and watched it again with Joe just to be like, all right, I might have been a little harsh on it. No, it sucks.
No, it sucks. It still sucks. Well, what's funny is that I own it because I own the Alien movies.
You wanted to complete your collection, even if that collection has a bad movie in it.
Yeah.
Avatar, you have no attachment to the...
No attachment. I have no desire, no attachment, no nothing. I don't care if I ever see that movie again. There's a handful of other movies out there that I just have no want or desire to ever watch again.
I think I put a little too much Jim Beam in that.
Well, we're going to go to another break.
We'll be right back after these messages.
We'll be right
Don't touch
back.
that dial.
We'll be back. Same bat time, same appointment. We can't say that because...
Hi, I'm Kid from the TV series Knight Rider. These are my friends, the Whuppies. Call me on the museum storyline, 976 Kids. Want to know how a jet engine works? Learn all about computers, how cars are made and bees make honey? I'll tell you a different story every day. When you call, you'll find out how to get your own Whuppie friend. And part of your $2 call goes to the Museum of Science and Industry. Call me today at 976-KIDS and be sure to get your parents' permission. That must be Michael. Gotta go.
Galvatron, our jet's gonna crash into our tank! No, it's not. They're going to transform into one robot.
Introducing Duocons, Decepticon 2-in-1s. They think they're twice as tough as any Autobot, and maybe they are.
The Transformers.
But they haven't met the Throttlebots yet.
For much more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
Now collect over 50 Transformers decoys free in specially marked packages.
And we're back. We went on a little tangent there for a while. We talked about Avatar and our distaste for Avatar.
Let's talk about stuff that, like, it's not a traditional Christmas media, but it takes place around Christmas time. So it's kind of something you can enjoy at Christmas.
Well, okay, we're gonna knock the big two out. Die Hard, Christmas. Die Hard 2's a Christmas. People tend to forget Lethal Weapon, Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And Gremlins.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna knock those out. We're not gonna talk about those because those
have been talked about to death. Batman
Returns.
Batman and Christmas, like Batman and the snow, that sort of holiday time of year goes really good together.
Literally, I have the Batman snow globe. It's the Dark Christmas Night.
And it's like where he's,
Batman in the snow over his parents' graves. It's literally the only snow globe I own, and it's sitting there. But it's one of the coolest snow globes ever.
It's like Batman and the snow, like Christmas time in general, just goes like hand in hand.
Yeah.
Some of the best Batman stuff takes place like during the holidays. Mm-hmm. Sure, there's the Long Halloween. The Long Halloween, I think, ends at around.
Yeah, it's a full year.
It goes on past Christmas. Yeah. Past the Halloween into Christmas.
It's when Calendar Man ends up being the villain. But
was it Cal? Yeah. The spoiler is the birth of Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
The birth of Two-Face.
Yeah. But no.
And it's revealed that it was his wife that was doing the shootings.
Yeah. With the holiday movies, a lot of them that are supposed to take place at Christmas time don't come out at Christmas time. Alexa, cancel. As I have to tell the Alexa to shut up over there. With the other thing is that I'm a huge. I used to be a huge fan. Now there's so many of them that I can't really. The Christmas horror movies. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love Krampus. That's a great one. Like
There's a lot of ones that suck.
There's a lot of horrible ones, but that's the problem is that, like, okay, I grew up and two of my favorite subjects back for horror movies back in the day were Bigfoot horror movies and Scarecrow horror movies because there wasn't that many of them. Then recently, there's just been these big explosion of all of them. So there's a shit ton, especially now, Bigfoot movies. There's a shit ton of Bigfoot horror movies, and there's a bunch of Scarecrow horror movies. But the good ones, the bad ones, the ratio is only like maybe 10% is good.
The best Bigfoot movie is freaking Curse of Sasquatch. Something. It's like this really low budget like. The Sasquatch makes this funny noise every time it's on screen. It's like, and it just repeats that sound clip over and over again. It has some of like the funniest like when a dude gets his he gets tore apart by the Bigfoot, and you see like a prosthetic arm, like you see like a fake arm, fake leg fly off. But then when it cuts back to him, his body's just perfectly intact, and he's on the ground like ah.
Well, the one I like is
what
is it? It's got two different names. It's like Abominable, I believe. But it's supposed to be the real Bigfoot. Like this actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's these people had
based on a true
story.
story.
It's based on a true story. It's got Lance Henriksen. I believe one of the titles was the Claude or something. Literally the Bigfoot in that movie looks like an orc because he's like got a bald head but got like furry shoulders and stuff like that. It's such a weird design, and it's
honestly a cool design, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a cool design, but not for a Bigfoot.
It's like this would work for anything other than Bigfoot.
Yeah, this would have been an awesome monster in a D&D movie, but it's not an awesome monster in a Bigfoot movie. But oh yeah, like I said, it's got several different names. But he was in Big Legend too. Another Bigfoot movie. But yeah, Christmas movies like Bigfoot movies are hit and miss.
Another one thing I want to bring up about Batman and Christmas. Literally, the first episode of Batman the Animated Series was a Christmas episode.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was where the iconic Batmobile lost its wheel and the Joker got away.
Yep.
That's where that came from. Is Mark Hamill singing it as the Joker.
Yeah, but see that's where they end up putting that because that song comes out way before that Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. That was when I was a kid. Actually, I don't even know if it was when I was a kid because it's probably longer than that.
It's probably came from the now that I think about it, probably came from the old Adam West Batman series.
Yeah, but it's one of the ones that just kind of appeared. If anybody knows any information on the Batman Smells...
the Batman Smells version of Jingle Bells, like, what is the origin of it? Please tell us. I legitimately don't know. No, I thought it was
Yeah. Sasquatch, The Untold. It's got two different names. Sasquatch is one of the titles, and The Untold is the Bigfoot movie with Lance Henriksen, as we go back to this. There's great Christmas stuff.
Like, what else in comics? What is some of like the best Christmas like comic stuff?
I used to love because you had every year, especially back in the day, Marvel did the Treasury editions, which I love, which are the oversized like Life magazine size.
I was thinking more of like a story.
But no, they put those in there, and oh man, you would have like four.
It sounded a lot more mean than I intended it to be.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
But you had like Luke Cage at Christmas time. We came going around going "Sweet Christmas,"
sweet Christmas,
and he had
like a kid like a present.
he had it, and hold on a second. We're going to edit this out. Where we at? Okay. Hello. Oh, nothing. Just doing the podcast. Yep.
Recording. You've interrupted our recording.
Yep. Yeah, I can do that. Give me a few, and then I will give you a call back here in a little bit. All right. Later. Bye.
Who was that?
It was your grandpa. Okay. We'll give it
3.
Okay, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
And with they're trying to sit there and the Marvel Comics would always put out the Christmas related issues. Like DC just put out the Merry Multiverse Christmas. You had Marvel put out the Christmas, the holiday specials, stuff like that. What I always thought was great is that they also did the other religions. So you had, Ben Grimm celebrating Hanukkah.
Ben Grimm's Jewish. Remember that?
Yeah.
People.
You had so is Kitty Pryde. So is
Magneto.
Magneto. Yeah.
Yeah. If you forget Magneto is Jewish, you don't know the character.
You don't know. You don't understand what he was an allegory for. You also had, you had, of course, Black Panther celebrating Kwanzaa. You'd always have the issues where...
you got Wolverine celebrating Boxing Day.
Because he's Canadian, eh? Well,
yeah, Canadian, eh?
Yeah. Canadian, eh, bub? Eh? At least he isn't Australian like he was in the cartoon.
If they hadn't started casting Wolverine as like having a gruff voice, we would have probably gotten like thick Canadian, Canadian accent. Like we would have been like, "Hey, bub,
going to go smoke a cigar, eh, bud? Yeah, they're going to get some puppers and pitter patter, get her at her.
Sabretooth, eh?
as everybody wants, dude from Letterkenny to be Wolverine. And I get it. He's not a tall guy. He's like roughly my height. He's stocky and stuff. Like he's built.
Give him some mutton chops. Give him swoop back his hair.
I still want the dude from Upgrade. His name's Logan, which is fucking works. And
get Logan to play Logan.
The other person I want to play Laura Kinney, I want to play X-23, is also in Letterkenny. She is. Why can't I think of her name? Her name's Tia Horn. Her real name is, but she is Canadian. She's not real big. She's got the look. She can play adult, not kid.
Play as the because Logan.
Yep.
She was a kid in Logan. Now she can be.
She can be an adult now because she was born in '86. Let's see here.
I really like X-23.
Tannis.
I like what they did with her character.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate that. Like, even though she's a clone of Wolverine, she's very much her own.
Yeah, she's very much her own person, and
Deacon.
Even when we got Deacon, and he's his own self. Right now, he's still having issues with his dad because they're all on the island together.
I hate you, Dad.
No, he's like, but he's like good guy now, kind of. He got all that crap out of his system, but he
got all that angst out of his system when he joined the Dark Avengers.
I hate you, Dad. I love you, Dad.
Love you, samurai Canadian Dad.
Canadian samurai meeting. Oh man, I
everyone. If someone says they don't like Wolverine, they're lying to you. They love Wolverine.
Well, see,
everyone loves Wolverine.
Me and Mom had this discussion. And it's great to hate on the people. I grew up, and Wolverine was not mainstream at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, I started reading X-Men in like 80. I was like 6, 7 years old when I started reading X-Men. I started loving Wolverine, like back then.
Like Wolverine was always, a character who like defied.
Oh yeah, he should have never been as cool as he was. You look at that early appearance of Wolverine and Hulk. He's lame looking. He's got whiskers on his mask, and he's just goofy looking. And then they made him
don't knock the whiskers.
Then they made him look cooler in Giant Size X-Men #1. And then he goes on to be.
And then he peaked with the brown costume.
Yeah. Then they went back to that costume.
I do like the yellow and blue, but he peaked with the orange.
With the brown and tan.
His orange costume from Evolution wasn't bad, too.
But here's the thing. Everybody likes to hate on everything. Or pretend like they're better than that. Mm-hmm. Like, right now, the big thing is I've never seen Star Wars. I've never seen a Marvel movie. I've never seen a comic book movie. Good for you. I don't care.
You're allowed to criticize. Where I draw the line is knocking people for having the absolute audacity to enjoy something. Like, you can, like, I'm gonna be honest, I hate Disney as a company. I hate what they're doing. I could still sit down and enjoy a Marvel movie. Like,
you know, that's like,
I'm not gonna say, you know, I'm not gonna be like, go blind fanboy and say they're all perfect. And, like, if you don't like them, you're just a hater. Like, the problem is that sometimes people just hate them on principle.
Yeah.
Because they're popular or...
Oh, yeah. They're like, well, you had, what, was it Martin Scorsese who was like, oh, they're the least common, you know, they're just the worst. They're just the lowbrow entertainment, stuff like that. Dude, okay.
Personally, I don't like what they're doing with MCU Spider-Man. Like, I do agree with the sentiment that people are calling him, like, he's... A lot of MCU's Pete is ripped from Miles Morales. Like, he's got this, like, he's got the best friend character. He's got, like, a lot of what MCU Pete is ripped from Miles Morales.
Well, see, the thing is, though, is they take what Spider-Man is now.
Spider-Man was...
Because he was, when he first started, he was the lonely, he didn't have really many friends.
MCU Spidey has friends. He's got the money from Tony Stark. He's got gadgets. He's got, like, everything's just handed to him on a silver platter.
Oh, yeah.
But part of what makes Spider-Man an interesting hero is that he struggles. Not just as Spider-Man, but as Peter Parker.
Yeah, because I remember them early ones where he didn't know how he was going to get Aunt May's medicine. He didn't know how he was going to pay his rent. You know, he was doing whatever he could. There was all these where he was broke. That's
like a key, like the key point of Spider-Man is that he's a struggling hero.
Yeah.
Despite all the good he does. Like, Peter Parker is barely staying alive.
With the Tobey Maguire ones, he's running around delivering pizzas, you know, stealing pizzas.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door.
Yeah, you know, you have that stuff. And what we're going to do, though, is we're getting the multiverse, though. We're getting the Spider-Verse, which I'm cool with. I'm a massive fan of the multiverse.
I also think Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, also kind of missed the mark in this. Because they made Pete... They wanted to make him teen heartthrob. They made him too cool. He, like, goes around on a skateboard. You know, sure, there's Flash Thompson as a bully, but he's still decently popular at school. Like, he's got, you know, secret agent dad. He's got his gadgets. I mean, Pete always had the secret agent dad, but I was never a fan of that.
Yeah. I was always a fan when his parents were dead, and they didn't give him a backstory.
It's just he lived with Uncle Ben and Aunt May. He already has a dead father figure. He doesn't need more.
See, I always thought it was funny because back then they made it so Peter was like, 14, 15, and Aunt May was like 102. You're like, how old were his parents if these were their brother, whereas his dad's brother and his wife? So, because the thing is, Aunt May isn't blood related to him. Aunt May married Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben's the blood relative.
Blood relative, yeah. Who's his father's brother. But people tend to forget. Then you have the Weird Trouble comic book from Mark Millar and
Mark Millar.
And that's just weird, that whole concept. But okay, but right now
play Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man PS4 gets the essence of Pete better than the MCU movies do, in my opinion.
But here's what I said is the people who have that's their who they are. Well, I've never seen a Star Wars movie. I've never seen a comic book movie. I've never seen, and you have to make sure you know that. Are the same people who...
They got to be contrarian so they can one-up you somehow.
Yeah, dude, I don't care. Yeah, I've seen movies that you'll never see in your entire life.
I've seen The Keep.
I love Akira Kurosawa films. I've watched art films. I love movies.
You watched bad art films.
I've watched bad art films. I've watched good art films. I've watched bad art films. I watched blaxploitation, exploitation, ozploitation, nunsploitation.
None of that.
No, she'll have None of that. Did you go with me to
A
see
blast
None of
for
That?
you and a blast for me.
Did you see None of That with me?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just know the poster.
Trailer. Okay. She'll have
A blast for you and a blast for me.
Yeah. So, but no, that's I just think that's weird that people have to make that point. And I'm like, okay,
You're allowed to not like something. Just don't make not liking something part of your personality.
Yes. It's like,
because the only thing it will accomplish is making people not like you.
That's like the people, well, I don't watch TV. Yeah, but you're sitting there on your phone watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. You're watching TV. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that's watching TV. Or you just replace TV with something else. Yeah, okay, I watch a lot of TV. I watch an insane amount of TV for a human being. But that's my nature. And
You're watching TV while you work.
Oh, yeah, I watch TV while I'm at my shop. It's
something you just do. Like,
I do.
Kinda,
literally,
you can have it on the background.
Yeah,
while you work.
I got have it on. I'm one of them people. I watched a thing on Rob Zombie, and Rob Zombie was talking about him and Alice Cooper are the same way. Is they both have to have TVs on. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that's okay.
You're like one of your biggest heroes.
I'm like those guys, but without the talent.
I don't know. You have charisma. You got an audience.
I do have,
an friends.
I have an audience and I have friends, but I have no musical talent.
Didn't you used to play in a band in high school?
I did some playing around. Yeah.
You played some Misfits songs.
Yeah, we'll go off that one.
Come on, we gotta tell that story.
No, I don't talk about it. But no, because it's funny because you gotta say the lyrics of the song. But you get. If that is what you're as one of your personality traits is that you just haven't done this, I just find that weird.
For the Groundhog's Day episode, we just need to write the script for this episode and just line by line, just recreate the episode before the Groundhog's Day episode. Just
it's like, why does everything sound familiar? Then the next, why does everything sound familiar?
But go on, Dad. I'm sorry. That's just an intrusive thought I had.
I like I said, I just don't get it. It's like people who will. Well, I only okay, good for you.
Drink soda.
I don't drink pop.
I don't eat fast food.
I don't eat fast food.
But you don't make it
that's not my character trait. I don't drink either. I don't drink pop. I don't drink liquor. I don't eat fast food. But that's not.
But some people will make that a part of their
That's like how
they have to be superior to other people, so they gotta have something that sets them above.
The ongoing joke, and this is nothing against because I know vegans and stuff out there. It's like, how do you find a vegan at a party? Don't worry, they'll find you.
If someone doesn't like Star Wars at a party, don't worry, they'll find you.
They'll tell you, especially if you're wearing a Star Wars T-shirt.
They're like,
well, I've never seen that.
You watch.
All right, you know what?
Myself
things got screwed up. Hopefully, we can fix that. So we don't know how much we actually got. So we're going to tie this one up. We're going to wrap this one up, or our Christmas episode.
Where we barely talked about Christmas.
Yeah, no, we talked about.
We talked some about Christmas. But we went off. We go off topic we
go off topic about everything, and we want to do our in memoriam episode, I guess, here again, to the original Boba Fett actor Jeremy Bulloch. I got to hang out with Jeremy years upon years ago.
Weren't you at a bar with him?
Yeah, I got to sit at a hotel bar with him and talk hockey. It was kind of cool, and I mean, it's one of them things. These guys are getting older, and we're losing them a lot lately. It seems because 2020 is horrible. But we're gonna tie this up, and before we go, remember, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification.
We are now on iHeartRadio.
We are now on iHeartRadio. I got the update.
We're now everywhere.
No, we're still not on a couple things, but
we are most places.
I'm trying to get on Pandora, and I'm trying to get on a couple other things.
You could probably listen on your Amazon product that I'm not going to say out loud, or else it'll activate.
We are on iHeartRadio, we're on TuneIn, we're on Podcast Addicts, we're on Stitcher, we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, TuneIn, YouTube. You can check out. We're now running just the video on YouTube, and the audio is on all the podcast formats. So if you want to watch us, we're doing this because we had some complaints because people were like. They were using up all their data on their phone to listen to our podcast, and I feel bad about that. I'm sorry. So we're going to wrap this one up tonight. And I am Paul.
I'm Bryn.
And we're not licensed therapists. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.